Okay, I'll tell him that, Sam.
Could they really put you in jail, Dad?
Let them try. If you're not doing anything, grab hold of that broom.
I got it.
Gee, I wouldn't want him going to jail.
There are worse places than jail, Billy. I've been in jail.
You have?
Well, in a guardhouse, the same thing.
What for?
Well, they called it insubordination. I didn't quite see it that way. Just expressed an opinion, that's all.
When you got out of jail, I mean, did people speak to you?
Listen. Some of the great men in this world have gone to jail because they believed in something and wouldn't take it back. You've got to admire a man who is stubborn enough to go to jail for something like that.
Dad's stubborn, all right. Mom says he's the stubbornest man in the world. Mr. Conway?
Well. If it isn't the old cannon magnet. How's business? Booming?
Do you think there's any way I could get rid of the cannon?
Well, why do you want to get rid of it?
I don't like it anymore. I'm tired of it.
Well, I suppose we could call Seth Turner down to the junkyard.
Dad already called him. He wouldn't come for it.
Why not?
I don't know. Maybe because Dad called him a robber.
Persuasion wouldn't work, huh? Tell you what, I'll call the sanitation department. Don't know as it exactly comes under the heading of rubbish, but they may tow it as far as the junkyard.
Thanks, Mr. Conway.
Look at her, the old crow, peeking through the curtain.
Yeah, short linen in her beard, I bet.
Hey, hold on. Hey, where's he going with that? Hey, what's the idea?
Came for it.
Well, he can't do that. Hey!
Let it go, Oscar. It's okay.
Well, what do you mean it's okay?
I just don't care about it anymore.
Well, I care about it, and so do you, and so will your father when he hears about it. Now, come on.
Where are you going, Oscar?
What are you gonna do?
Where have you gone?
I don't know. Come on.
Hey, you guys, wait for me.
What is this, a delegation or a revolution?
Tell him, Oscar.
Go ahead. Mr. Barrett's okay.
Well, I've got some sounding off to do. Well, I mean, somebody should.
All right. Go ahead.
Well, darn it, somebody should remind people that there are fellas from this town holed up in places like Vietnam, risking their necks and living like dogs to fight their battles for them.
Yeah, you're right, Oscar.
You sure are.
All right, it's their job, it's their duty. But what is it that they're fighting for? What is it that they think about in a swamp or a rice paddy, ducking bullets and mosquitoes? Home, that's what. This town. The way things used to be. You think they want to come back and find out that behind their back somebody has junked their cannon and put in
A dumb old fountain.
That's right. Do it all right. Just go with that thing instead of our drinking cannon.
I'm telling you, Mr. Barrett.
Hold it. You're telling the wrong fella.
Oh, you're a man of influence here? You run the newspaper?
Save it. Come with me. Frank, if anything comes up, I'll be at the mayor's office.
What'd you say his name was?
You caught it. It's Kilroy.
Your idea of a joke, Barrett. I'm a busy man.
His name is Kilroy, and I suggest you listen to him. Go ahead, Kilroy.
Tell him, Oscar.
Tell them about the swamps and rice paddies. And the mosquitoes.
I got a little teed off, Mayor. I didn't mean to come here and...
What Kilroy was suggesting is there are sons of this town fighting overseas, a voting age, incidentally, who aren't going to be very happy when they come back and find the town cannon has been torn down and replaced by a bunch of cupids spurting water.
That matter's been settled. It was passed by the town council. And we don't need any outsiders butting in telling us what to do.
It shouldn't have to be an outsider. You don't know what you have here, Mayor. You don't appreciate your town. You don't know how lucky a guy is to have something like this to come back to.
And how long have you lived here, may I ask?
4 or 5 days. How long do you have to live here?
How long have you lived here, Mayor? How long have you been in office?
I am proud to state that I have had the privilege of serving this community for 19 years.
Well, then, as one of our ancient monuments, you wouldn't care to be replaced, would you?
What do you mean by that?
I made some notes for an editorial we're running in our next edition. It's the 4th of July edition. Would you like me to read them to you? Well, I'll read them anyway. I thought I'd head it to the old gray mayor. He ain't what he used to be. I've got to give you credit because you wrote this editorial practically. It consists simply of a reprint of the deathless words spoken by Your Honor on July 4th, 1946, at the dedication of the memorial cannon. I'm not going to bore you with the entire speech, but I'd like to remind you that you closed with these ringing words. The memory of that noble sacrifice and of those who gave their lives, the finest flower of Wilton Junction, will ever live enshrined in our hearts and in this cannon. Well, that memory has just been carted off to the junkyard with your approval.
It was not with my approval. It was done behind my back. Well, I never intended for that cannon to be junked. If it has been, it's an outrage.
I thought you'd see it that way.
Howdy, Mayor.
Seth, the town wants that cannon back.
Well, now that cannon's worth a good $50 just as scrap.
$50?
Better watch yourself, Mayor. This cannon's getting more valuable every second.
Well, all I can say is if scrap metal's worth anything like that, the tax assessor's going to have to reappraise the assessments around here.
The taxes just went up.
Now, hold on.
Well, you think about it, but don't take too long.
It's blackmail.
It's statesmanship.
Ladies! This thing hooked up.
Hello, hello. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
It's okay now, Mayor, but don't bellow it. I mean, don't talk the light.
Ladies and gentlemen, young lady and young gentlemen, honorable members of the City Council, Reverend Dr. Hamilton. 1 less 2 years ago, we gathered on this green to dedicate this noble cannon, to dedicate it to the proposition that those who died before had not died in vain. Today, we gather here again to renew that pledge and to rededicate this instrument of war, not only to those of the past, but to the youth of today, to boys of all ages. May it stand here forever as a reminder of our glorious heritage and for boys to have fun with.
Now?
Now, Sam.
Come on, fellas, let's go. Come on.
Disney presents...
On this program, we're bringing you another episode of our story, Kilroy. And though it was really unintentional, this has turned out to be a very instructive and educational show. For instance, you're going to learn all about judo, and also all about boot camp, how to follow up a love affair, how to stop gang warfare, and how to build a booby trap. Of course, if you're figuring on doing any of these, it helps to have an ex-Marine around. Now, after all of that, one might think this is a mighty violent program, but it really isn't, as you'll see now in part 2 of the story of our ex-Marine, Kilroy.
Hey, watch it, will ya? What's that you're making? A booby trap. What does it look like? What's a booby trap? Something to catch boobs with. You boob. Hi, Billy. Hi, Glad. Watch that string, Glad. Step over it.
Gladys.
Hi, Mother.
Welcome. Billy, aren't you going to say hello to your sister? You haven't seen her in 2 weeks.
I did, Mom. I said hi. Hey, watch it, Dad. Watch that string.
What's that doing there?
It's for an experiment.